This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
I'm going to have a real hot take for May the 4th. The Infinities trilogy is the best Star Wars trilogy.
I can agree with that.
And everyone's going to be like...
I hate the OT, but I do like the Infinity story. And I own that series, actually. I have.
And you're not alone. I knew people growing up who liked newer Star Wars stuff. They couldn't get into the original trilogy, but they got into the prequels. And now I've seen people who are like, can't get into the prequels, and OT's, way too old for me. So, I get interested in the sequel trilogy. So it is interesting to see Star Wars is unfortunately become a little bit like Alien and Star Trek. It's like, whatever got me into it, that's what I'm loyal to, even though it's like, okay, whatever version of Exorcist or Hellraiser floats your boat, I guess.
Like this is funny with the Infinity story. I was at my library and looking at the books for sale, and lo and behold, they had the Marvel Epic Collection of Infinities on the for sale shelf.
They actually acknowledged it. Wow.
Yeah, it's the entire trilogy plus the original The Star Wars storyline that George Lucas wrote included. And I bought it for $1.
Oh, lucky you.
I know. I was like, no way. And I snagged it off the shelf in a heartbeat. I was like, that's mine. That's mine.
Oh, man. Lucky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this ran from... from 2001 to 2004-ish. And it's really so fascinating.
What happens if Luke misses?
Yeah, he's a one-trick pony.
Literally.
Your phrasing. But, and man, massive body counts for everybody in this. And so A New Hope, I hate that subtitle so much. The original Star Wars starts off with, what if Luke was unable to destroy the Death Star, but the torpedoes still burnt up the power grid, making the Death Star's laser inoperable? And I love how this just starts off. Like, everything I need to know is explained away in literally 2 sentences. It's like, they make it sound like the Twilight Zone. It's like, if this alternate dark chapter happened, let's just say for argument's sake, this is what happens. And then they quickly give 5 inserts within 2 pages showing everything you saw in the movie happened. Now, let's say that this timeline starts from here and go.
Yeah, pretty much.
I had so much fun taking notes from this. Now, keep in mind, this was in 2002, so there's only one minor quibble I'm going to unleash here. But again, they didn't know. So, but I love this a bunch. Oh, what did I rate it? I gave it a full-blown 5 out of 5 stars, and I'll explain my reasoning. But yeah, so it's the whole original trilogy, just a what if. And I usually don't like what ifs. I can't stand them in Marvel. I love them here because
they're fun though, because they work in different ways depending on who the character is.
I like the alternate stuff, like the Punisher kills the universe or Deadpool kills the universe, because at least that's just a random, just
one story deal.
Flabbergast. The whole other stuff, I understand. Star Wars, for me growing up, I always had alternate endings. So I think because even though what it made up for with flat dialogue, with philosophical speeches and scenarios they could have done with the wisdom of the characters, I think that's where I was like, yeah, what if so-and-so, became a Jedi sooner, or so-and-so became a smuggler in this part of the galaxy? But
Yeah.
This is cool because, yeah, it's just like, let's just say Luke's unsuccessful. And I like how he's like, what's going on? And Han's like, well, we better get out of here, you know? And it's about Yavin 4 moon's about to get blown up. But yeah, Tarkin then orders his remaining TIE fighters to ambush the Yavin 4 planet. Free rebel ships escape, but are captured by Darth Vader and his TIE interceptor.
Oh no.
And Fighter Squad. And yeah, if you want them to talk like Monty Python, you can. The Death Star power comes back on and they destroy the planet. Luke, thinking they're all dead, then goes apeshit and destroys dozens of TIE fighters that are chasing him and the Falcon. Luke abandons his unreactive X-Wing in space and brings him and R2 on board the Falcon. After a fight with Han on the Falcon, Luke is told by Obi-Wan's spirit to start training now with Yoda. Like, we're going straight into Empireville. And and Leia is captured again by the Empire and tells everyone to go to hell. Yeah, what else would you do? But as mild as you get in Star Warsville. But yeah, Empire fleet and Death Star pull up into the now seemingly invincible Coruscant planet, and Vader takes Leia to the Emperor's throne palace. Do it. The Rebel fleet is all captured now. Han and
But that's
Chewie.
my daughter.
Oh, yes, I'm such a tool. Such a glutton for punishment. Han and Chewie go with R2 and Luke to Yoda's planet at Dagobah. Han knows that Yoda is playing them and calls it while stating that it takes a con man to recognize another con man because Yoda's doing the typical, not to speak up. It's like, yeah, no, we came here. And Vader brings C-3PO to Leia's quarters and then gives her Obi-Wan's saber that he took after killing him earlier.
Interesting.
Yes, Vader.
I haven't read Infinities in a long time.
Well, but you were the one who brought it up to me, and then Josh was like, "You got to fucking read this, Cam." I'm like, "I will. This sounds amazing. I don't know how I don't
really
know about
amazing. It's just been a long time.
Well, I'm going to catch you up. I did all the notes. So yeah, 3PO being as usual. Oh no, Mr. Melodrama does that, but. Vader trains Leia to be angry in a practice saber match, but then takes the saber from her when she attempts to commit suicide by pointing it at her head. So
wow.
She also can't jump to her death as there are force fields around the palace that prevent such a thing. So then, yeah, Han and Chewie depart on the Falcon to find a new pressure stabilizer for their Falcon while Luke continues training after Obi-Wan warns him that he's still at the same crossroads that Vader was at his age. Roll Tide, get with the flow, do what Obi tells you.
Oh, this was the same year that New Jedi Order was out too.
Yeah, that's still going, and the new movies are coming out. Vader continues telling Leia that she has more choices than she realizes.
Ooh.
While Luke does the whole fighting the vision. Well, in one of these, he definitely is very useless, but I'll get to that. He does the whole fighting the vision of Vader in the Dagobah cave, but this time he sees Leia's face in the Vader body instead of his own.
Oh no.
Chewie and Han meet at the Ord Mantell Outer Rim planet, and I had so much fun taking screenshots of this. There's an Imperial news report TV on that notes that the Rebel Alliance has been over for 5 years now, and now to Han's surprise, Leia has been appointed senator, which shocks Chewie when he sees it on the broadcast. And then Han destroys the TV set in the bar, even letting out a "shut up." And the stir causes the hunters and bar patrons to all recognize him just now. Oh, applauding his stupidity. Just now? All right. But the duo runs away in a stolen Jawa cart from both the Imperials and bounty hunters. They get away in the Falcon, despite Chewie not properly making the repairs that Han asked him to make earlier. Yeah. Yeah. They're literally saying martini the entire day. Anyway, so the Falcon flies back to Dagobah as Luke's training is completed. Yoda orders Luke to go to the cave without weapons, and Luke sees all kinds of Sith and Jedi visions, including Qui-Gon, young Obi-Wan and Anakin, the Emperor, Padme, Darth Maul, and the current turning of his sister Leia by Vader. So, yeah, a bit of everything. Yeah, turn it off. Han drops by. Luke is scared by a snake crawling on his arm. Fearless Han notes that it's not bothering anybody.
I like how deadpan that was. Snake crawls up Luke's arm. He's scared of it.
Yeah, but he's being such a crybaby after all this training.
Well, he is a whiny twink.
No, he is a whiny bitch. I like him,
Yeah,
but he's a
for
whiny
real.
bitch. So Yoda asks why Han came back, as it's too long a trip to come here just for Yoda's stew. Yoda then says that Luke has completed training the fastest, but still ready he isn't. So he just spills the beans on Vader being his dad while throwing Obi-Wan under the bus for his lie. Luke is angry at the withheld info, but Yoda notes it will only feel the anger had he given it away earlier, while also noting that Leia is his sister. Obi-Wan's spirit notes that Luke's ready to let the Force guide him, and that he withheld Leia's relation to Vader to keep her safe as well. So, yeah, we're tricking along. We're taking less long than it takes to watch both movies. So,
For real, like that's the pacing. Like I like good fast pacing. It helps
it
a
does.
lot. But it's like, oh, the exposition.
We just summed up 5 different HBO miniseries in this length of time.
For real.
So Han and Chewie have eaten all of Yoda's stew, but after he's done giving them grief, Yoda offers to tag along with the trio, implies that he hopes to sit in the Jedi Temple again very soon. We're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So Han teases Yoda. He's got this Muppet in his vehicle, and he teases Yoda by asking him if he really thinks the Force is with him, to which Yoda notes they'll soon find out which side of the Force is strongest. And later, Vader notes that he feels a Force disturbance, but the Emperor notes that this is yet another destiny he's put in place. Sure. All right, Trump, you got a concepts of a plan, concepts of a vision. So the best game plan by far, the pair of 4 dock at the Death Star again. Yoda and R2 come out of the Falcon while Yoda does his mind tricks on the troopers, stating that Moff Tarkin has asked to see them and that the Falcon is cleared for departure. Han is jealous, wishing he had Force powers for use on his favorite planetary casino, the Smuggler's Moon. The Falcon goes to Coruscant. Chewie stays with the ship, keeping it running, while Han unexpectedly tags along with Luke on foot while stating that he's still owed a reward for saving the princess. So he's still in mercenary mode, which makes sense. He hasn't matured yet and gone and attached. Han and Luke meet 4 red Imperial Royal Guards who are equipped with red double-bladed lightsabers.
Ooh.
It's as cool as it sounds, and I always wondered what they were hiding, because I was like, it's not just those electrical sticks. They got
they were armed with force pikes originally.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. So this is a very cool fight scene with neat artwork. I like how it's just as cool as everything you picture in a comic book, where it's the characters are crossing over into the different boxes and what have you. It's like they're jumping off the page. It's very, very cool. Han takes one of those sabers, and he and Luke are taken to the Imperial Chamber by 3PO, where the Emperor, Vader, and Empress Leia are ready to fight them all. Luke reveals he'll never fight his sister, while Leia gasps, and both Emperor and Vader act like that's a Jedi lie. 3PO, this motherfucker, he takes out a blaster and takes Han hostage while the siblings sword fight. I'm like, okay, so Hans Gruber, Mr. C-3PO, is doing a terrorist move. I'm not
stiff-ass motherfucker taking Han hostage.
Oh, no, yeah. And I'm surprised they couldn't take it out of his damn metal thing. He's just a guy in a plastic helmet and suit, whatever. So I thought it was cool, even though realistically,
so unrealistically.
Yeah, it wouldn't work in the movies, but yet I think this is so fun. This guy is just fucking going for it, and he's still making it work on the page by having the right exposition. No, yes, but it's still yes. Me saying this doesn't do it justice, but
I know.
Hopefully, at the end of this, everyone's sold on it. But meanwhile, Vader questions if this is true that it's his daughter. It's like, you didn't know, you blind fascist. Well, the Emperor acts surprised, going, "You couldn't tell? She has the Skywalker fire!" And that part.
Like, what fire?
I read that in a Christopher Walken way. Then Yoda makes Moff Tarkin, still under his Jedi spell, locked the Death Star's control room and locked the lasers onto 4 super star destroyers, destroying them all. Yoda racks up a huge ass body count than he did in any of the movies. It's fucking awesome. For that alone, legit one of my favorite movie characters of all time. Leia snaps out of it and stops fighting Luke when emotional Vader speaks to her. And the Emperor, he's coming too. Yeah, well, this is before he does the whining. No, but the Emperor begins shocking both Luke and Leia. Oh, how shocking!
Yeah, for real.
Vader pins the Emperor down, wrestler style,
no.
with the Emperor going, "Have you gone mad?" Luke knocks out 3PO. While I'm surprised his head didn't go flying. Again, or technically a second time, but while Han begrudgingly has to drag his ass back to the ship, and that's the funniest lines in the whole comic book run. The Emperor stops attacking Vader when Yoda tells him on the view screen he'll be finally facing him. The Emperor calls his bluff, and this is cool because this was before Revenge of the Sith movie ever came out, so they kind of assumed they must have been fought at one point or another. So it's man, this still works regardless of what, as a non-canon alternate reality. So the Emperor calls his bluff as he says the Death Star weapons are deactivated now. Our heroes get off the planet of Coruscant just in time for Yoda to ram the Death Star into the palace, killing himself, Moff Tarkin, Vader, the Emperor, and the other Death Star members. Man, it's
brutal.
Fucking hell. And it's R2 is piloting that, presumably. So it's or he's mind controlling Tarkin to pilot it. But either way, is man, what a baller move. And so after that awesome yet shocking explosion, a peace ceremony is held, and Luke sees older Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan's spirits, while 3PO notes how he misses R2. You poor sap. The ironic phrases and snarky comments by Han and venomous threats by the Emperor aren't just on point. They're just so flat out inspired writing for this what if comic. The only issue I had is that I know they couldn't have known it was 3 years prior, is that Yoda would have acknowledged that he fought side by side with Chewie, but whatever. That's hardly worth nitpicking. He probably forgot him and said, "You look just like any other Wookiee do." And so
that's not racist at all.
Yeah, I hope it's not racist, Yoda, you monster. Then we go on to Empire Strikes Back, where the what if infinity, where what if Luke escaped the Wampa pit, chopped off the creature's arm, and then decapitated another Wampa, and then died.
Oh boy.
Fucking dies right then and there. Just the damage is too much, the cold, everything. But yeah, if Han fails to save Luke, I had to reread it. I'm like, wait, what just happened? Oh, so other than that awkward start, I'm down. I'm like, so Solo takes Luke's place in this story, and presumably they kill Wedge and Tilly is also at the Battle of Hoth. So, but on a good note, the rebels evacuate quicker because there's also some TIE fighters there and what have you. So Han, Leia, Chewie, and 3PO go straight to the space junk and then to Cloud City. They avoid that worm monster and everything altogether.
Oh, yeah.
And the other melodrama, I want to keep fighting with you. So Boba Fett, however, has followed them, and he's en masse sitting in the dining room chamber. And yes, he does look like Django, because post 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
And he's waiting to speak to Lando, telling him to get ready for his employer's arrival. And this is how you realize very little of them actually get in deep detail. Lando decides to turn the tables by having Chewbacca and his security team beat up and capture Fett. But Fett then disarms 2 guards and jetpacks over into a hand-to-hand fight with Solo. Chewie grabs and hurls Boba into a wall, much like in Dark Empire, causing him a lifetime knockout for now. But Han thinks up an idea and asks Chewie to not finish Fett off. Han and Lando wrongfully assumed that the talk of the so-called employer that Boba mentioned meant that Jabba was coming onto the planet, not knowing he actually meant Vader. He's like, had they actually asked for clarification before this whole fight, they might have gone somewhere. But as the Falcon leaves for Dagobah, Lando gets a hologram transmission from Vader, and then he realizes that Fett's so-called delay, and Vader learns that the Falcon was not held here. Vader then says over the hologram that he notes to Lando that he's complicit with helping the rebels, and TIE fighters begin attacking his Bespin city. Lando orders an evacuation. Bespin is bombed and destroyed as he and his crew get away in their ships. Han, Leia, Chewie, and the droids land the Falcon on Dagobah, while Han jokes that he never expected to be a Force-wielding Jedi, and Leia senses a void of darkness. So again, guys, yes, this is... I like how each of these comics stand their own ground. It's like, okay, let's say we started here. Let's say we started there. Here's where the storyline's going to go. And some of the ideas cross over, but they all make good use of all your favorite characters. They all get a moment in the sun. And I could not put this down. This was dynamite. Like, this would be awesome even if I wasn't a Star Wars guy. Like, this is fucking awesome. So, while angry that he's not the real chosen one, Yoda remarks that Leia is actually the one needing to be trained, not Han. Reveals the Darth Vader connection, holds back Han with his cane, calling him a death-marked scoundrel, then tells everyone to come over to his hut for dinner. Han, Chewie, and the droids leave once again. Han gets his ego back in check, realizing that he's actually be endangering everybody, not the other way around. Leia trains many months later on Dagobah using the flying rocks, a purple lightsaber given to her by Yoda. I guess it's Mace Windu's.
Maybe.
Encountering some weird giant beasts made entirely of water. Yeah, we're getting some X-Men level shit here.
No.
Twilight Zone. While searching on another unnamed planet. So this is the only star I take off. Explain where the fuck it is. Don't say I don't know where it is. It's somewhere.
Well, dude, like when Cotter came out in 2003, and the last part of that was Unknown World, it remained that way for a good decade before it actually was named Leon.
Wow.
Yeah, that it didn't get its name until Darth Bane, Path of Destruction.
Wow.
Yeah, that long. It remained Unknown World for a long time.
You bastards.
It's same with
Give me a name.
Yeah, Revan was ambiguous. The Exile was ambiguous, which was a lot of fun because when I played Cotter 1 and 2, I
It's
made
the Old Republic, you noobs.
yeah, like I made Revan a woman, and then in Sith Lords I made the Jedi Exile a man, and then I would switch back and forth. But I always felt that Revan should have been a chick. But they were like, no, Revan's a dude, and Mitra Surik's the Exile. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. But I still like female Revan.
True. I can see that.
Yeah.
They
Anyway,
should do more of those games, or better yet, continue them in comics. Cross them over with the Old Republic, all that stuff.
yeah.
So, where the fuck was I?
Purple lightsaber, water animal.
Purple lightsaber.
It's the pride lightsaber.
Yeah, the LGBTQ Star Wars.
Take this.
So yeah, that's the Bruce Valanche version, if not George Takei. So yeah, while searching on another unnamed planet, Imperial Superior notes rumors of Luke's death and announces a new Death Star being built. Vader doesn't buy it, as he still senses a Force disturbance and wants to know where Solo went after threatening that officer. Getting more pro-droids and hiring new bounty hunters, some who are Wookiee and Rhodian, so Greedo species. So that was cool.
Neat.
Yep. And then Solo and crew have a Devonian smuggler, an actual expanded universe smuggler character named Uncle Villy, who appears in Attack of the Clones bar scenes and other comics. Who instead of, so that's the only question I had, is like, who is that character? I had to look him up. But so instead of taking payment to Jabba, this guy then betrays them so he can keep both the money and the Falcon. Oh, you cunt. You fucking. So at the palace, Jabba notes that he's bored and wants to prove something in subtitles. R2 manages to open the pit escape door where Han and Chewie are fighting two Nexus, those giant cat
I love
beasts.
Nexus.
Yeah, those giant cat beasts from the Geonosis arena. Attack of the Clones. And
love that movie.
I did too. And so once R2 hacks it, those beasts come in and they start slaughtering guards despite being injured from the duo hitting them over the head with leftover bones. Some funny, bloody moments in this scene as they approach Jabba's guard. And again, it's Star Wars, so no one cares. They're like, just a little blood. It's all good.
It's normal.
No one in bikinis. We're good. So yeah, Han, Chewie, and R2 escape on another pirate ship, and they come back later for the Falcon. The next day, the next two beasts are dead. Jabba tells his main right hand, as other guards and droids' bodies lay, to get a different beast they can control, like a Rancor. Vader and troopers arrive at Jabba's den and notice 3PO, who's still there with the other droids. This was the best plot twist. This was the best plot arc. Vader interrogates 3PO, takes his head from his body. Actually, yeah, no, I'm jumping ahead. Vader takes him and Jabba gladly surrenders him, as it's just another one of Solo's properties, and he has plenty of other translators. Vader interrogates 3PO on his ship, takes his head from his body to bypass his protective programming, and realizes he needs to set a course for Dagobah. And so much of the artwork looks so much like the Star Wars Tell comic book cover, which says the same thing, him looking at the droid he created. So then Leia is floating in the air meditating, and Yoda then instructs her final task is to go to the cave and collect a crystal so she can build her own saber. This had a great ending. It was so tragic. So Vader arrives on Dagobah, tauntingly calls Yoda an elf while Yoda electrocutes him. And both Obi-Wan and Mace Windu's spirits fight Vader, all causing actual damage to Vader while Yoda plays more mind games with him. Leia is building her saber and sees the reflection of Yoda and Vader fighting. In Hoth Ice Planet Illusion, Vader's helmet is off and looks too much like young Anakin. Yoda notes how he could relieve himself of his selfish cruelty, while Qui-Gon's spirit delivers additional damage to Vader by chopping off his arms in the vision, while Yoda shows Luke's icy grave. Vader begins to look like an awful young Andy, and then when Yoda's guard is down, the vision disappears and real world Vader chops off Yoda's cane-carrying hand as Leia races out of the cave. At the exact moment, Leia chops off Vader's hand. Vader does his usual quotes while fighting her with his other hand, but is then shot to death by both Han and Chewie as they're flown back here.
Wow.
Yoda gives a brief talk to Leia before dying and vanishing. They start to return to saving the galaxy as they burn Vader's body. Pretty solid follow-up. It didn't really hit its stride until the second issue for me personally, but it was too unnecessarily recreating the Hoth battle in the first issue. But then the neat plot twists and tie-ins with other established parts of the universe. And this was a 3.5 out of 5. That'd be a 7 out of 10 scale. This wasn't my favorite, but this still, the plot twist made up for it. I just had so much fun with all the other stuff. And I like how they're expanding upon the universe, even though this is just a what if. So that is why I give it more than my usual grief. See, these guys actually had a lot of fun. Like, they did basically their special edition. They did their own thing instead of just, I have a license, what the fuck can I do besides play around with my crayons? So then we come to Return of the Jedi. What if? What if Leia, Lando, and Chewie avoided the drama at Jabba's palace? Lando stopped. Yeah. I don't think you even need that sequence in the movie, kind of like the pod racing. I still like it, but if you took it out, it just would make the movie go way faster. But anyway, so we start off here. Lando stops Boba from ambushing Leia, but she's still stunned by the blast and drops her thermo detonator, blowing up Jabba, his two buddies, and 3PO. Don't worry, she mourns. I blew up 3PO by accident. Boba gets
my favorite robot.
I love how they use that same helmet for the Breen on Deep Space Nine. So the trio and Luke hijack the sail barge with R2 on it. Boba gets away with Carbonite, frozen in Carbonite Han, while they waste their time beating up bar patrons for answers on where Fett is. Yoda is dying, and despite Kenobi's spirit telling him to hold on, Luke is too late when he gets to Dagobah. But the Emperor also senses the loss of life and orders Vader to check out the Dagobah planet, coincidentally. Luke arrives and gets more pep talk from Yoda's and Obi-Wan's spirits. Oh, come on. You didn't miss that much. Luke and R2's X-Wing is then tractor beam onto a Star Destroyer while Vader plans his next move. Leia's spies in tactical sniping gear on Ondor, presumably. She sees that Boba's being taking frozen Han to the Imperials there at the stations with the Imperial shuttles so that they can lure his friends out, and he gets paid either way. And of course, this is where it's fun spy assassin territory. It's just original technology they're using this issue, so that's why I give it some extra points. Leia kills the Imperials via future rocket launcher, while Lando shakes the Falcon around, causing Boba to trip and go flying to his death from a separated jetpack that way. Leia stills Fett's Park Slave 1 shit after hassling with the controls. Luke is on the Death Star too, while Han is being removed from Carbonite on a rebel ship by pals. The medic says that Han has been frozen too long, so he likely won't regain his vision again. All while the rebels kill stormtroopers at the Ondor shield base, but then can tell it's a trap as their signals are jammed. The rebel ships get Luke's distress signal. He sent pre-capture telling Leia about them being siblings and Vader being their dad. Blah, blah, blah. So that's how they do it this time around. Leia sneaks onto the Death Star 2 using the Boba Slave 1 ship while the trio follows her in the Falcon. Lando says Han can come as long as his blind self doesn't control the controls. Leia is captured while Lando and his fleet are on the same space trap they're in the actual movie.
No.
Dun, dun, dun. The Emperor orders Vader to kill Leia while Luke engages in combat. The rebels breach the Imperial shield bunker on Ondor via explosives, but finally the Ewoks show up attacking both sides. Fucking traitors. Little teddy bears. So I like this. I could tell this guy was not a fan of that subplot, so he did not focus on that at all. He avoided the Ewoks altogether other than that scene. Han realizes the Imperial bunker shield is down and suggests Lando go in for the attack raid now. Chewie is injured by the TIE fighters shooting at the Falcon, but Han takes over while telling Lando to keep the Falcon running in a straight line. And Luke stops fighting, but the Emperor briefly zaps him while asking if he'll join or not. Luke asks Vader why'd he want to kill both his only kids. Vader doesn't think he can be anything else, but Luke chops off Vader's arm mid-final fight. Wedge and another X-Wing blow up the Death Star core, because get it? Lando and Han are too busy blowing up the Ondor bunker. But yeah, so Wedge goes in now that that's down. As everyone's evacuating, the Emperor notices something is wrong and vanishes.
Wow, he can vanish.
Yeah, he takes off. We don't know how he evacuated or what. Lando drives the Falcon back to save the Free Skywalkers. Vader dies on board while thanking Leia for bringing him back to the light side. So he evacuates everyone. The Death Star blows up. Second one, the spirit of Vader appears to Luke while noting that together they'll hunt down the Emperor eventually. So a lot of sassy Lando lines in this outing, a little more grim, but just downright zany fun, especially because Vader didn't get redeemed, but he's now an ally. So you're like, I don't know how that's going to turn out.
But Han's still blind.
Yep.
And he's flying.
Well, no, he's using the gunner. So Lando's flying.
Okay.
And that's why he said, keep it in a straight line, because I'm just going to keep firing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I didn't care for that part, but it was kind of cool. But so
I'll have to reread it sometime.
Yeah, this was really a shit ton of fun. It really was. Like, I just dynamite artwork. I would have, if you made this even an original thing, that would have been cool. But no, that's cool that you told me that Marvel reprinted it. It's like, good, because everyone deserves to see this. Every kind of sci-fi fan should read this. This is a lot of fun, vibrant dialogue and all of these, and it makes me wonder if they could do that with any other movie property. I don't know.
I think they were. I remember people were clamoring for them to do it for the prequel trilogy, and they never did it. And I'm like, that's such a fucking shame because it would have worked.
They could have made it work. They could have said, "Hey, what if Darth Maul was the main Sith Lord in the entire prequel trilogy? That'd be way better." What if,
Yeah, Darth Jar Jar, and then they finally did Darth Jar Jar in Lego Star Wars.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
someone had to.
Yeah.
Well worth reading. I'm so glad everyone turned me on to this. This was a blind spot. I did not see it promoted much, and it should be totally seen. It should totally be read. It is.
There's a lot of Star Wars comics that are really fucking good.
Crimson
That
Empire,
yeah, I've read. Let's see,
yeah.
Crimson Empire was great. I love the audio for that.
Jedi, Old
Uh,
Republic, all that.
yeah, I have the Old Republic trilogy comic.
90s books were fun. Yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
best Star Wars comic I read was Jedi Volume 1, The Dark Side. I actually bought that one. I read it, and then I immediately bought it after I read it.
that's how good it is. Right?
Yeah.
So, given your love-hate relationship, why did you continue with Star Wars? Was it really just the expanded universe, just taking ideas that you liked better, or was it?
I don't know. Like, like I've been uploading the old Star Wars books to my channel and shit. And the other day I uploaded Legacy of the Force Tempest, and that was from '06. And I sat there and I'm editing it, and I'm realizing that yeah, I was writing my Star Wars trilogy while I was listening to this book back in '06, and I'd never realized that until I was editing it. Like, damn. But it's amazing because I love the new Jedi Order the most because it's so brutal and so bleak.
It's all right.
And the audio
The Blake stuff was
adaptations.
fine. I just couldn't get into the using Vong. I just thought those guys sucked. Those were like a bet discount version of the Borg Xenomorphs. But hey, glad you like it.
Yeah, like the Vong were so brutal. And the fun thing about that was the writing group at the time when they were working on that, they pretty much had free reign with them, and they didn't realize how far they were going to go with it until they made the Vong
There was another
masochists.
trilogy they did that had like some insects,
Oh yeah,
something
the
else.
Kill It Crisis. Yeah, the Kill It trilogy.
That
Dark
was
Nest.
messy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Dark Nest trilogy was good.
yeah. Jedi Academy was good. The books,
Yeah,
not to
I
be
did
confused
it.
with the game.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I own that on cassette actually.
Sweet.
I bought it
Uh,
from my library.
but yeah, Infinities. This should be like the ultimate peacekeeper. Everybody, read this. You'll realize why you like the universe so much, and you'll have fun knowing that someone had all this freedom and decided to do their own wacky alternate special edition, a special edition that doesn't suck.
We'll return after these messages.
Howdy folks, Halfback here. We got a 90-minute weekly Shack Stop. It's growing all over the world. Find it at 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays, then 3 p.m. on Wednesdays, then 7 p.m. on Thursdays. You can catch it on many more radio stations, 99.9 KERB, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. Then catch the encore on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Then catch it Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central on 107.7 K-Twins. Then hang out with us Wednesday afternoons on MXTR and House Shack Radio, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Then Thursday, get up bright and early with us on 95.7 Web Radio at 6 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. Of course, we've got your Friday covered as well. 12 p.m. Eastern Time on MXTR FM and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, 107.7 K-Twins. Find everything on HowShack.com. HowShack.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win Show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up